The mistake that kills billion-dollar companies.
What if Yahoo had bought Google? And what if 4 years later, it had also bought Facebook? Imagine that for a moment. The company that could have owned the two platforms that would eventually reshape how we search, communicate, and use the internet was already sitting at Yahoo's table. But Yahoo said no. Not once. Twice. At its peak, Yahoo was worth around $125 billion and was one of the most powerful companies on the internet. It had the users, the money, the brand, and the attention of millions of people every day. So how did a company with so much power fail to recognize what was coming? Was Yahoo simply unlucky? Or did its own success make it blind? That is the real story of Yahoo's collapse. In 1994, the internet was still a mess. There were websites everywhere, but there was no easy way to find them. It was like walking into a giant library where thousands of books were scattered across the floor, with no librarian to tell you where anything was. That changed when two Stanford students, Jerry Young and David Filo, started creating a simple list of their favorite websites. At first, it was just a personal project, but the list kept growing. People started using it to navigate the internet, and what began as a small directory quickly became something much bigger. In 1995, they turned it into a real company and called it Yahoo. And Yahoo had a completely different idea from the search engines we know today. It wasn't trying to understand the entire internet with an algorithm. It was trying to organize the internet with people. Editors reviewed websites and placed them into categories. Yahoo became a human-made map of the rapidly growing web. And for a while, this model worked incredibly well. Yahoo became the place people went when they first opened the internet. Email, news, finance, games, shopping. Instead of sending users somewhere else, Yahoo wanted to become the destination for everything. By 2000, the company was valued at around $125 billion. Yahoo wasn't trying to become one of the biggest companies on the internet. It already was, and that success created the first problem. Yahoo began to believe that the internet would continue to work the way it had always worked. But outside their portal, the internet was changing. And the next company to understand the change was Google. The first warning, Google. While Yahoo was building the biggest portal on the internet, two students at Stanford were working on something completely different. Larry Page and Sergey Brin were developing an algorithm that could determine which websites were actually important, without relying on people to organize them manually. They called it Google. And Yahoo noticed. In fact, Yahoo's founder, Jerry Yang, was one of the people who saw what Google was building early on. But Yahoo didn't see search as the future. To Yahoo, search was just a tool. The real business was the portal, keeping users on Yahoo, showing them news, email, finance, entertainment, and most importantly, advertising. And that created a fundamental problem. Google wanted to help you find something as quickly as possible. Yahoo wanted you to stay. The difference seemed small at the time. It wasn't. As the internet grew, manually organizing websites became harder and harder. Google's algorithm could process the expanding web much faster than human editors could. Yahoo was trying to organize the internet. Google was building a way to search all of it. By 2002, Yahoo could see that Google was becoming a serious threat. And then Yahoo got an extraordinary opportunity. It could buy Google. The price was around $1 billion. Yahoo said no. Later, when Yahoo reconsidered, Google's asking price had reportedly risen dramatically. Yahoo had already missed its first chance. And the important question isn't simply why they didn't buy Google. It's this: why didn't Yahoo recognize that search itself was becoming the center of the internet? Why Yahoo didn't understand search? The strange thing is, Yahoo didn't fail to see Google. It failed to understand what Google was becoming. Yahoo already had search. Users could type something into a search box and find information. But Yahoo saw search as one feature inside a much bigger product. Google saw search as the product. That difference changed everything. Yahoo's business depended on keeping people inside its portal. The longer users stayed, the more pages they viewed, and the more advertising Yahoo could sell. Google was built around a different idea. Give the user the best possible answer as quickly as possible, even if that meant sending the user somewhere else. At first, Yahoo's approach made sense. It had millions of users and a huge collection of services. Why would people need a separate company just to search the web? But the internet was growing too quickly. Every day, more websites appeared. More information was created. And users increasingly needed one thing above everything else: a fast way to find exactly what they were looking for. Google became extremely good at that. And the better Google became, the more people used it. The more people used it, the more valuable its advertising business became. Yahoo was still thinking about the internet as a destination. Google was turning search into the gateway to the entire internet. That was the real shift Yahoo missed. And by the time Yahoo understood how important search had become, Google was no longer a company Yahoo could simply buy. The opportunity was gone. The second chance, Facebook. Yahoo had already missed one enormous opportunity with Google. Then, just a few years later, another one appeared. In 2006, Facebook was still a young social network, mostly used by college students. It was growing quickly, but compared with Yahoo, it looked tiny. Yahoo saw the potential. The company reportedly offered around $1 billion to buy Facebook. For Yahoo, this was a chance to own one of the fastest growing social platforms on the internet before it became a global giant. But the deal didn't happen. Yahoo's leadership became increasingly concerned about the company's falling stock price and tried to reduce the offer. The proposal reportedly dropped from around $1 billion to about $850 million. Facebook rejected it. That decision would become one of the most expensive missed opportunities in internet history. Facebook went on to become one of the world's largest technology companies. But the important question isn't simply why Yahoo failed to buy Facebook, it's why Yahoo kept seeing the future as something that needed to fit into its existing business. Google didn't fit the Yahoo portal model. Facebook didn't fit it either. And that pattern was becoming impossible to ignore. Yahoo wasn't running out of opportunities, it was running out of the ability to recognize them. The real reason Yahoo failed. So why did Yahoo fail? It wasn't because the company lacked money, it wasn't because it lacked users, and it wasn't because Yahoo couldn't see new technology. The deeper problem was that Yahoo had become extremely successful at doing things the old way. Its business was built around being the destination of the internet, a place where users could read news, check email, search, shop, and spend time. That model worked, and because it worked, changing it became difficult. Google represented a different model, search first. Facebook represented another, social connection first. Neither one looked like Yahoo's existing business. And that's where Yahoo's biggest mistake happened. The company kept evaluating new opportunities by asking how they would fit into the business it already had. Instead, it needed to ask a different question. What will the internet look like 5 years from now? That distinction matters. A successful company can become trapped by its own success. The systems, products, and decisions that made it powerful can also make it resistant to a completely different future. Yahoo didn't lose because someone suddenly destroyed it. It lost because the internet changed faster than Yahoo changed with it. And by the time the company finally understood what the new internet looked like, Google and Facebook were already helping define it. What Yahoo's mistake teaches us. Yahoo's story isn't really about missing Google, and it isn't really about missing Facebook. It's about something much more dangerous. A company can become so successful at its current business that it starts protecting the present instead of preparing for the future. Yahoo had millions of users, enormous revenue, a powerful brand, and opportunities that most companies could only dream about. But having resources isn't enough. You also have to recognize where the market is moving. Google changed how people found information. Facebook changed how people connected with each other. And Yahoo kept trying to make the old internet better instead of asking what the next internet would look like. That's the lesson. When a new technology appears, don't only ask, is this big enough to threaten us today? Ask, what happens if this becomes 10 times bigger? Because the biggest threats rarely look dangerous at the beginning. They look small, they look unprofitable. Sometimes they even look like something your customers don't need. And that's exactly when a successful company has to pay the most attention. Yahoo had the money to buy the future. It simply didn't recognize the future when it was standing in front of them.